All right, welcome. This right here is all about DOGECOIN. Pretty sure this week everybody here saw how DOGECOIN shot all the way through the roof. And that's why when anybody asked me about it, I was simply recommending just simply buy it. Why? Because it was so cheap not to. It was only less than 5 cents per token. You know what I mean? So being that cheap, why not invest into it, right? All about investing is mainly about that risk, right? When the risk is that low, you might as well invest into the currency pair. If you had $1,000 invested into Dogecoin, right? $1,000 this year or even last year, right? By yesterday, you would have made over $80,000 when it came all the way to this high. If you had just $1,000 invested from 2013 until now, right? Only $1,000. You had years to invest $1,000 into Dogecoin. By that high that morning, you would have had $80,000 in your account from $1,000 investment. That's how big it is. Sometimes it takes months, most of the time it takes years for a coin to go off the charts, right? But it's going to be there, and that's why it's an investment. If you're worried about fluctuation and prices and this and that, you should not be trading crypto, forex, or stocks whatsoever. Because price will come down, and those are the moments when guys are scared. But the smart people are just rebuying and setting a new place to get back in to the same exact token. So this right here is a few rules to follow about crypto. The first is choose a secure exchange, right? This right here is about like Coinbase, about like Binance, Bittrex, or whatever may you Robinhood, right? You got to choose a secure exchange as far as like, okay, so if your cryptocurrency is at stake or is getting hacked, then you pretty much can't do nothing about it. And that's one of the main things about cryptocurrency. There are risks into it because that exchange can be hacked. They can be whatever it may be, right? Like some hack, it happens all the time. Like hackers hack large exchanges and take their Bitcoin, and you pretty much cannot recover it. It's so hard to get it back because that's the whole point about Bitcoin and that technology. You can't pretty much trace it anywhere across the world, right? It's untraceable. So seeing that once it's gone, it's really gone. You cannot get your stuff back whatsoever. It's literally impossible to get your cryptocurrency back unless you know the person who exactly did it, which most likely you would not know it. So choosing a secure exchange as far as Coinbase, Robinhood, and understand that different places allow you to trade different things. Like not everybody will allow you to trade Dogecoin. I use Robinhood personally to hold crypto on and this and that, as well as like a cold wallet. So I use Robinhood to buy my stuff as well as Coinbase and Binance, but I have a cold storage wallet, and I'll do that in another video for you guys about that cold storage wallet. But I use that because it's complete offline. You can store your crypto on that wallet. It's kind of like having your own bank in your pocket. I'll explain more about that in another video, right? But on to the next step, right? The next rule is don't fall into the hype. Like I said, do not fall into the hype. Like when Dogecoin is taking off and this and that, guys, I'm gonna buy it now, I'm gonna buy it now. You are following into the hype. If you just invested into Dogecoin when it was going up, you came into the hype. You're falling into a bubble. And the thing about a bubble is it always bursts, right? You get guys to join that bubble, making it bigger, and it gets bigger. The more guys join, it gets bigger and bigger, more air inflates, it gets bigger and bigger. So sooner or later it's too big and it straight busts in front of everybody's face. And the last ones to get in are usually the ones to lose on that bet. So do not fall into the hype. Do not buy a token or a coin because you see it getting all draw all the attention and all this good stuff. You are going to fall into that bubble trap, and eventually it's going to pop in your face because you got in too late. You only got in when all the talk about it and all the hype come around. Like I say always, right? If you heard about it already, you're probably too late. Okay, it's a key thing about trading. If you already heard about it, you're probably already too late to get into it, right? Trading is all about inside knowledge for yourself. We have a strategy and you're on the chart breaking things down to find a trade to get into. All right, on to the next step, right? Know that crypto is not a get rich quick scheme, right? Most of the time, you're waiting months, if not years, before your investment takes off. Okay, like I said, this coin was back in 2013. It didn't take off until this year, and many other tokens as well, besides Bitcoin, right? But a lot of tokens started from 2010 until now. Okay, so it takes years for these things to take off or to pick up, which is why so many people fall out because they can't be patient enough to get into that trade or to hold out as far as fluctuations from the prices, right? They can go up and go down. You get scared, you want to close out, take profit. And that's the whole thing about it. You really have to learn to sit on your hands and just be patient at given time. It's always just that simple. So every given time you're into a trade, guys, right? You realize when it's about crypto, you are in it for the long haul. You're not saying you're going to make money next week or even next month or even 2 months. It could take a half a year. It could take a whole year, or it could take years. You really have to understand that before a coin takes off. But that don't mean you get scared and run from it, especially when it's so cheap. Like I said, guys, if you saw this on here when it first came out, look right. Look how long it was at this point. Let's go to the 8 hour real quickly, and you can see how long it was down at this level. Like it started way back here, right? Started way back here, July 2020, right? And all the way here, it was at this level. So all year long, it did not move. You got to really understand that, right? And this first came out in 2013, and you see no prices really have done anything since July of 2020 when it even reached that 3 cents, right? It was less than a cent at this given moment, which is why it wasn't really showing on anything. Like at this moment when it first came out, like down here, it was less than a cent. It didn't hit 1 cent until it came right here. Like right here was 1 cent per Dogecoin. Anything below here, imagine how many tokens you could have bought into. You gotta imagine, like I said, if you had $1,000 invested into Dogecoin with around 3 or 4 cents, by that morning, when it came all the way to about 45 cents per coin, you would have had about 80,000 in your account. If you had 2,000 invested, that would have been about over 160K in your account in that one day. So you get the picture, right? It's a very, very easy thing to buy into. The hard part is being able to wait until your investment comes into play, right? That's the main important thing. But real quickly also, we are going to break down looking for a new entry, how we can re-enter on Dogecoin and just buy more coins, because it's still fairly pretty cheap compared to what everybody's expecting it to be, right? They think it's going to be $1 per coin at least. If they hit $1 per coin at least, you got to imagine how much money you're going to make, right? It's going to be a shit ton of money for a lot of people. Like so many people became millionaires off of Dogecoin overnight. You really got to understand that, right? A lot of people became millionaires off of Dogecoin overnight, right? So last rule is just understand that. Know that crypto is not a get rich quick scheme, and most of the time you're waiting months, if not years, before your investment takes off. Now let's get into the investment, right? As far as how can you buy or get back into it to look for another confirmation to get back in for a buy or back in for a sell if you are trying to sell Dogecoin. You can go both ways depending on who you are, right? But looking at it right now, guys, don't forget we view every market in the same way. Starting from the 3, right? The 3 hour, me personally anyway, out of 3, 2, 1, right? Looking for strong levels of support and resistance and identifying price action as far as candlestick confirmation to take that trade, right? It's just that simple. I like starting from the 4 and 3, right? You find the high levels of support and resistance first on them levels, and then you work your way down. And you see here how we had to start here because we had to find new levels of support and resistance because Dogecoin made all-time new highs, making new levels that there's no past evidence to go off of. It was making new levels of support and resistance, and we had to use them levels for the future. So you see here how we had the 3, I went down to the 2, and that went down to the 1, right? But every time you go down, you see a better picture of what's going on, right? You see this touch right here. You see this touch right here, as well as a double top reversal that might come into play very, very soon. Now, this was about right here, guys, right? From the 2 hour, let's go down to the 1 hour, our last time frame that really I like to find confirmation on. Now, off the back right here, you can pretty much see how we have that double top reversal pattern. Now, this is perfect right here because we do have some insight of what approximately could happen next, right? Now, let's get into it. And pretty much everybody know by now, right? How do you trade that double top? You have 1 peak, you have 2 peaks, it fall below the neckline, retest back to it right about here, and that's your sell all the way back to the downside. Just that simple. And that's how you look at it, right? And look what's going on right now. We have the first peak, we have the second peak, and we have this touch right here, what makes that kind of M-shaped pattern, right? That double top M-shaped pattern. Here's when it falls below the neckline. Here's when it's retested the neckline. And we're trying to see what it fall below here. Go here and keep on playing that same exact trend out. And that downtrend will come back into play until eventually we can look for another buy entry somewhere along the way to reinvest into Dogecoin. And most likely it will be this last high level of support right here and resistance. So personally, right, if it comes all the way back to the downside, that downtrend keeps on coming out, you can definitely just buy anywhere down here around 5 cents, 10 cents per coin and hold it for long term. Or you can get it for this short and just sell Dogecoin. Yes, you can sell Dogecoin the same way you sell and buy Bitcoin. It depends on what broker you have. But personally, me, I like buying these tokens and holding on for long term, is having a different part of my portfolio on the side and having an asset. That's what pretty much about for me, about having different things in different places bring you in more and more money. And that's the main important part. So seeing this right here, it can fall below this level, pull back here, and this will be your sell entry on Dogecoin to make that money to the downside. It's just that simple. Now also look at it in this way, right? Let's say it does not fall to the downside. Always know we have to play out both scenarios in our mind. We have to, because it can only go down, it can only go up. So you have to play out both scenarios in your mind. And that was the bear scenario. Pretty much right here, we could potentially see that double top. I mean, it's clear as day, that double top reversal formation. And the double top makes sense because Dogecoin was in a huge uptrend. And the double top causes the reversal to fall back to the downside. So a very simple thing like that. But we have to know both scenarios. Just because a potential double bottom or double top, that don't mean that it's going to fall to the downside, right? You have to realize that and be prepared and adapt to both as far as scenarios, right? The bear scenario as well as the bullish scenario, right? So seeing this right here real quickly, if price action breaks above here, pulls back here, goes above here, and pulls back here, the buy right back on Dogecoin will come right around there at that next high level of support and resistance if it so be broken. If 40 cents can get broken and it breaks above there, because it did go as high as 5 cents, it's 45 cents per coin. So if it do break above this level, come here and then pull back here to around 40 cents per coin, this right here will be a great buy opportunity. So break above 40 cents per coin, pull back to 40 cents per coin, you buy at 40 cents per coin, and you're riding that investment out the same way we all are, right? This right here is very simple how you reinvest into Dogecoin. You should be buying if it breaks above here, pulls back here, it comes here for the retest, you can buy to see what it keep on going to the top side. Or if it do fall below here, pull back here, you can get it for the sell here, or just wait until it comes down to another strong level of support and then buy it once again. You always have different options you can go about. But Dogecoin, guys, is a very simple thing. Don't think about it in any other way. It is the same thing as Forex and Bitcoin and any other thing you're learning, right? You are a technical trader. This right here should be easy for you. So I see you next, guys, right? And this right here is an amazing lesson. I'll see you later.